Estranged best friend feels entitled to be in my baby's life. Thank God your mother isn't taking her BS. My mother totally would have. I'm always impressed with supportive mothers. Me too. That's how my best friend was when we took custody of our nephew. She wanted to be a cool aunt who has nothing in her life together. We have a bumpy friendship from past things, so we really aren't close anymore in my eyes. Occasional lunches together where she vents her whole life and that's it. She's met the kiddo once and feels like she's entitled to see and talk to him like he's hers. She moved 6 hours south of us a few months ago and was mad at us for not visiting. BC, we totally have time to juggle a toddler, classes and full-time work to make a drive. I told her this, and if she'd like to see us, she can make the drive, since she doesn't have kids or a million classes and she doesn't work. She blames my fiance for how our relationship is, and I just told her to memorize our address. If she wants to see us, she can come over herself. BC, when we move she's not getting the next address. Since then we moved, and I haven't had to deal with her since. It's lovely. I'm glad you moved away from her. She sounds toxic. She was just one of those people who in no way should have a sense of entitlement but did lol. Some people do be like that. That's what makes snakes hard to see sometimes. Your friend might be jealous of your family or bitter that she doesn't have your full attention anymore. Knew people like that personally. I had a best friend situation where I was basically the cool aunt who didn't have their life together and was always accessible and available until I wasn't, and ended up in a really healthy relationship and things started to come together. My best friend at the time was painfully bitter about it because her relationship wasn't one she was super happy with, rebound off a really shitty one. She didn't have a good job and was struggling, and then suddenly I was a lot less available. It all just kind of culminated, and after she was being particularly nasty one day I just blocked her on everything. Cut out people who don't make your life better or celebrate your successes. Congrats up on your baby. That's my sister's situation, but she doesn't have the heart to cut her off. I was best friends with her best friend's younger sister, but I'm a little more brutal and cut her off for similar bitter behavior. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, this girl was like a sister and it was hard, but after seeing her first response to me cutting her off was to shit talk me to everyone and go on Facebook and make vague posts about it, I knew I made the right choice. She has the audacity to call you a bad mum for ending a friendship and then wonders why you've cut her off, knowing you have depression and anxiety, aren't on meds because of the pregnancy, and she's calling you a bad mum. I actually can't get over that. That's absolutely awful of her, and you are definitely not a bad mum. Congratulations on your baby. Enjoy every minute of your now more peaceful life. I'm so glad your mother is on your side. That's great, she's supporting your decision. Sorry your ex-friend has been so awful to you, and I'm glad you recognize the toxicity. Yeah. Pregnant. And your child will miss her? She doesn't like your boyfriend. Feeling is mutual. She called you a bad mother. She tried to tell you why you're having a baby, even though it's not her place to tell you a damn thing. And she was toxic and aggressive. Sounds to me like you made the right choice in ending the friendship, and you owe her nothing else, especially not being a part of your baby's life while likely still being a toxic bitch to you and your significant other. When I told my mum, who's always loved her like a daughter, she laughed and said that if she tries she's gonna tell her to take a hike. I think I love your mum. Would you please accept a hug from me to her, and also loads of hug for yourself if you choose to do so. One question I'm going to ask you to think about briefly. Don't answer me, just think about it. How much negative emotional weight has been lifted from your shoulders? It's proof that you've made the right decision. I've also got a private bet with myself that while your depression may not lift totally, it will certainly be lifted slightly. P.S. She sounds like a jealous wee besom. A besom is a type of broom or an impertinent woman. I'm still in the early days and keep going back to our conversation and feeling angry, and I kind of miss her. But then I realize that I miss the friend she used to be, cause I haven't been able to really count on her and talk to her for a long time now. I know on the long run it's all going to be for the best. She's been part of your life for quite some time. You have grown up, moved on with your life. She has stayed behind. You did not leave her behind. She stayed behind, and she tried to keep you tied to the past. Tied to her. That's why she doesn't like your boyfriend. Because you have moved forward. She is no longer the most important person in your life. She's jealous of you. I also have another private bet with myself, who's always loved her like a daughter. Gonna tell her to take a hike. I'm betting that your mum treated her like a daughter because she was your friend. I suspect that your mum figured her out a long time ago. But because she was a friend, she did what a wise woman does and treated her like a daughter. You will always mourn that lost friendship. But that poor lassie has lost so much more than she will ever realized. I can only pity her. People who try to use my mental health against me will no longer have a part in my life. It's such a low blow. Unacceptable. My high school best friend stopped talking to me after I asked her to take down a picture of my son on FB. She also told a former friend his name and age. I didn't want that person to know anything about him, so obviously I was upset. She eventually took the pic down and unfriended me. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I'd make it very clear to everyone that former best friend is not to have any information and photos at all about the baby, and that she is definitely not allowed to see the baby. The fact that she's so interested in the baby that she'll supposedly get information from your mother has me concerned. No worries. I'm planning to make it very clear to everyone. Plus, she likes to make big scenes, but then rarely acts on what she says. So considering how uninterested she has been in my son throughout my pregnancy, I doubt she will follow up with her threat to contact my mum. Sounds like you have it all covered. Best wishes for an easy rest of your pregnancy and a safe delivery. I'm sure your little boy will be adorable. Her conviction that the only reason I'm having this baby is to fill a void in my life in the hope it will fix my depression. From the day I've told her I was expecting, she called herself my baby's aunt, so she's basically saying that you shouldn't even be having the baby. But then she also wants to claim she's family to him? What a bitch. Well, good riddance to bad rubbish. NTA. If I've learned anything in life, it's that those who you thought were close friends that you once you're pregnant. Pregnancy can be a very lonely time for a woman. I'm sorry you've gone through this. What a ducking dick move. No one should ever feel entitled to be in someone's life if they've been estranged. F. Your TLDR is more useless than the title. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.